Hello and welcome to Season 1, Episode 1 of my podcast. For this episode, we will be discussing the importance of music, artists, and the stigma of music throughout Tucson local venues. The episode documents my experience at one of the specific local restaurants. Upon scrolling through Facebook, I found a local event titled Late Night DJ at Alivra's. My first thought was in confusion on why a Mexican restaurant was hosting such an event. It was at this point of confusion that ultimately drove me to moving my cursor and clicking I am interested. So I set my plans to go on Saturday night. Saturday night comes around, I put on slacks and a fitted tee, and I head out. The restaurant is decorated with lights that cover the entire space of the ceiling. A bar that stretches from one end of the restaurant to the other, and people of all kinds. The ambiance of the restaurant revolves around the entertaining scene, which features two DJs that stand in the center of the guests. Long story short, the setting provided visitors with food options, all handcrafted by the kitchen, as well as insights into local music, creating a level of intimacy that cannot be found throughout the many pockets of Tucson. Besides what I have accumulated through this course, I have no prior knowledge of music. I enjoy the sounds created as well as the musicians creating that sound. However, the terminology and process is a challenge to my understanding. This being said, I have dedicated my podcast to portraying my story from the perspective of a special guest. I'm talking to you from sunny Arizona with a very special guest, Low Audio. Although the name seems taboo, Low Audio is formerly known as a student, a server, an everyday guy going by the name of Jeffrey Griffith. Unlike many other performances I've observed, Jeffrey allowed me to approach music from a new lens. Prior to calling an Uber to Alivra's on the night of the 22nd, I came with a notebook fully equipped with things to focus on, people to speak to, and information to gather. These points of contention cover anything from the decorations on the wall to definitions of important terminology in the music culture. It is from these observations on settings, ambiance, and the audience made that I conducted a series of questions about music culture. Out of the plethora of questions I bombarded Jeffrey with, there are a few responses that stood out. Jeffrey is fairly new to the music scene, premiering in his first show only months before his performance at Elvira's. Regardless of his rookie standing, he stated that the musical experiences in Tucson area have always been served with the unwavered support of the community. He speaks of a program that is titled Project Atlas that works with a company called Solar Culture to arrange DJs in clubs and venues throughout the Tucson metropolis. The program specifically caters to a specific genre of electric dance music called house or techno. As his specialty, Jeffrey expresses gratitude towards the program, as he has continued to play throughout Tucson in his short career. On account, Jeffrey turns to his co-DJ, who introduced himself as Zach and refers to himself as Zaw. In the theme of observation, I would like to point out that this is yet another taboo name. He continues to speak of the lingo, tracks, and restaurant for the remainder of the interview. Utilizing what I was able to gather from Low Audio and his right-hand man, Zaw, I do strongly believe that it is important as an observer to place yourself in the participant's shoes. In this case, the intimacy of the conversation with Jeffrey provided myself with an outlook that cannot just be observed. Additionally, the ambiance of the setting provided each and every attendee with the same level of intimacy. I think it is this level of intimacy created between local venues and artists that proved to be vital in understanding music culture. That is all. I appreciate you guys listening to Season 1, Episode 1 of my podcast. Thank you very much, and good night.